If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for a night. And I'll let the wind blow, baby. Leave that key outside the door. We don't need to tell nobody, but I think I'm ready to be loved. Only for a night. If you wanna stay with me, if you wanna try, maybe you could be with me, but only for a night. And I'll let the wind blow, baby. Leave that key outside the door.
And just like that, it's Wednesday again. How about that, folks? Hey, thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a pretty short show today because we don't have as many auctions this week. I kind of maybe messed something up that way, but it'll be a good show. It'll be short. It'll be sweet. Next week, I promise double the action because I already have them all listed, scheduled. So I know there's more than double the auctions next week. So I think we have a total of, let me count them up here, 9 auctions ending on this show. Next week, we have scheduled 23. 23. It's going to be pretty crazy. So let's get a bit excited about it. So if you're new to the show and you haven't watched the stream before, whether you're watching it live right now or it's the recording, either way, thank you for joining us. And what the whole premise is here is I sell used, vintage, some new stuff too, video games, and we do the live show of them ending on eBay. So I think the best part, if you've ever sold anything on eBay, is watching the auctions end, right? You get to watch the people bid in the last seconds, called sniping. And you get to watch if you make a lot of money, or you get to cry if you don't make enough. And you can live through me by watching this quick little show and watch my auctions end every week, live at 12:45. So, live at 12:45 means we start the show at 12:45. The first auctions end at 1. So, again today, we have 9 auctions. We do 2 every 3 minutes. So we'll be ending the show right around 12 after 1. So the show's less than a half hour total today. Not too much pain, right? Also, a tradition with the show is I have to have an adult beverage. And today we're doing the Voodoo Ranger in the bottle. It's quite tasty. And we've been doing whiskey the last couple weeks because my friend Joe, shout out to Joe, kept asking that I start drinking something a little more heavy. He was calling this Kool-Aid of beers. And I don't know if I would call that an IPA Kool-Aid of beers. But regardless, they're delicious. First sip's always the best. All right, so what do we have on dock for today? Why don't we run through the motions here? Let's look at what we have going up for ending today. So in 16 minutes, well, this hasn't been refreshed, so it's less than 16 minutes. But regardless, the first 2 that'll be ending is the Atari 5200 Gorf, which is a pretty rare 5200 game, sitting pretty low right now at $3.50 with only 5 watchers. We might get a little skunked on this one. We'll see what happens, huh? And then, excuse me, our first lot that has Joust for Nintendo, Gauntlet 2, City Connections, and what was the last name on this one? I can't remember. Demon Sword. Look at that. Demon Sword. Very terrifying. That's sitting at $13.50 right now with 9 watchers and 7 bids. Then the next slots, we have another lot. We got the Goonies Pro Wrestling, Goonies 2, I should say. Pro Wrestling, Skate or Die 2, and Commando for the NES. Look at that. That's an old Big Game sticker. That's a Mankato rental from Big Game. Oh, I miss the days of Big Game. God dang it. Then we also have, this is sitting at a price that I think is pretty reasonable at this point, but we'll see what happens. We have Atari 5200 lot with Defender, Pole Position, Football, Missile Command, Galaxian, and I'm missing one on this list. What didn't I say? It says and more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I am blind. Oh, Super Breakout. There you go. Super Breakout. And it does have the cards for most of the games too. 5200 was different than your 2600, folks. It was a better machine than your Atari 2600 if you had one growing up, but it wasn't as good as a 7800. It lived a very short life. Now, in the next time slot, we have another lot for NES. This one's sitting a bit low in my opinion because I think these are some sweet games, but who knows? We'll see what happens. We got Excitebike. We got Solar Jetman, which is a weird one. Elevator Action and Karnov. Karnov rocked. I mean, what a game, right? And then we have the ultra rare Trackball for the 5200, which is sitting at $63 right now with 12 watchers. And Voodoo Ranger is good. Thank you. I agree 100%, Nate. It is a good tasting beer. All right, we have this Trackball sitting at $63 with the 12 watchers. It also comes with the infamous Centipede, which needs to be played with the Trackball, in my opinion, even though the 5200 controllers were analog. So think of that. Blast from the past. Then we have a game that's a bit rare for Nintendo called Magician. Played it during the testing video. Had never played it before. It's a bit of an RPG. It's made by a weird company called Taxan, and they did like the rare G.I. Joe. I think they didn't make as many games, so that might be why it's a hair rare. But it's sitting at a pretty decent price right now of $15.50. 10 watchers. And then for our final two auctions of the day, we have a New Wave Toys 1/6 scale of 1942. Look at that bad boy. This is fully playable, has HDMI out. It's got all the side graphics and arts, comes with the original boxes. Pretty cool little unit, even has little mini quarters. Comes with the second controller, so you can play 2-player. We're just getting a bid right now on this exact item. See that? Just went up to $85 as we're talking. So that's good news. Hopefully we get a little more out of that bad boy too. But these are pretty neat. If you look at the back here, under this sticker here is the HDMI port. Just never used. But it also plays 1943. Just some good old shooter action. That's what it is. And then we have, last but not least, the finale. Look at this big lot. And thanks to Joe, who sold me this for a song after he got it from somebody. Went and cleaned it up, tuned it up, and got her working all nice. Cleaned up the controllers. So we have the Atari 5200 with 5 games and 2 controllers. The original RF module here. This runs on channel 2. Normally it's 3 or 4, but this one runs on 2. Which is weird because at least today's world, Antenna actually does some decent stuff on 2 sometimes. But regardless. And the power plug, see how it has 2 cords coming out of it here? This one goes into the wall, obviously. This one goes into right here on the RF modular. And then one cord does both the power and the TV to the actual unit. Very strange. But yeah, little Atari 5200 knowledge. So that's sitting at the $86. Now, why don't we spin forward just a hair? Let's take a look for next week and what we have up for auctions. We'll run through this kind of quick. We have Final Fantasy for NES that's going up here shortly. All these start listing at 1 o'clock and like every 3 minutes. So Final Fantasy for NES. We have the Evercade New in Box Pico Arcade Collection. We have another Nintendo lot with Blaster Master Pinball made by Nintendo, Solstice, and Iron Sword, which is Wizards and Warriors 2. Then we have Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii. And we have Mario Kart for the Wii. We have another Nintendo lot, all with banger arcade games. We have Burger Time, Galaga, Gauntlet, and Rampage in that set. Then we have one more Nintendo lot. We have Rolling Thunder, which is a classic. 720, the hardest video game to control in the world. Russian Attack, not Russian Attack. And Othello. Then we have Zack and Wiki for the Wii. We have a very rare Camcom fighting game called Tatsunoko versus Camcom for the Wii, which is a pretty darn rare game, actually. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Didn't know they made a 3, but they did, and that is going up. We have a Sega Master System game named R-Type, which is a phenomenal arcade port of the game. We have a Nintendo GameCube console that has the actual digital video port in the back. My other ones don't have that. This is the only one that I have has that. Fantasy Zone 2 for the Master System. Very rare game. We have some relists because we had a non-payer last week. He won 5 auctions last week. Didn't pay for a single one. Gotta love that guy. Well, he's on the block list now, so sorry. So sorry. But anyway, we have the Switch game, then Sega Genesis Classics. We have the Point Blank 2 for Sony PlayStation 1, which requires the guns. G Darius HD, brand new and sealed for the Switch. We have the Evercade EXPR bundle with Tomb Raider. And it's sealed and brand new. We have Final Fantasy 12, sealed brand new for the Switch. We have the Sega Genesis version 1 with the Sega CD version 2. A couple of games, including Batman, which is pretty rare. A controller and the 2 power. Everything you need to run it, basically. And it works. Pretty sweet. Mortal Kombat 11 for the Switch. And then we have some bonus items. Garage selling's been a little rough this season, I'm not going to lie. Only thing I think video games I've been buying have been controllers so far, so it's been a little bit rough. I picked up this 1977 Hardy Boys lunchbox with the thermos, a vintage 70s Walt Disney World lunchbox with the thermos, and then a little tractor. Look at that. And a little trailer, missing parts. We'll see what happens. Bonus items are always fun. Don't have any this week, though, in the auction, so they will be next week, though. I know Katie likes the bonus items. So why don't we skip over to the screen with the first two here, where we're still sitting at $18.50 and $3.50 with 3 minutes and 41 seconds to go. Isn't that exciting? So yeah, it's been a week with the garage sales. We had the El City, which I usually seem to do pretty well on, but didn't take a whole lot home. I think my wife's happy. I keep buying her puzzles at the garage sales. And that seems to be working out well for her. But not killing it so far this year. I think part of the problem is if you see video game stuff, you see them all priced differently. Thanks Google and everything in the world, right? Because that allows you to basically look everything up and see what it's worth. And then what I also find is you'll see that same person in the garage sale put it on Marketplace afterward because guess what? They didn't sell any of their games. We have to remember what garage sales are generally for. Liquidating your crap. Not a profit center, right? But sometimes people get confused. So, regardless, it is what it is. There you go, Stace, on the puzzles. But yeah, no, it's still fun though. It's fun to drive around and check it all out. And since it's a business I'm running here, I get to write off the miles anyway. So it's not costing me a fortune to do by any means, and I get to meet some cool people along the way too. I have invested quite a bit of time in my arcade projects this last week. Made quite a few purchases for the 2 arcades I'm building. I did go gun style now on the old Missile Command. And I painted the cabinet this week. It's kind of funny because I went to go buy the paint and I'm thinking I'm going to go black, right? Because I guess my other one's black. My other 2 are black technically. And I'm like, okay, let's just go black. And I saw, oh, espresso, that's black. And I bought it and I start painting and I go, I think espresso is brown. And I don't know, don't tell my wife this, but I'm colorblind. She gets very upset when I bring it up. But anyway, I'm liking the brown actually. It kind of turned out nice. I put a couple holsters on the side of it, new T-molding, and I have that big old 26-inch LCD I put in there. And I'm using Sinden light guns for this build, and they're working out pretty darn well. So I'm running Batocera, so I won't be bringing in Technoparrot on it because I'm running in Linux, but I will have all the classic arcade shooters on there, and it's pretty sweet. It's coming out really nice. I might even make the coin door active just for fun, but we'll see what happens, right? You just never ever do know. All right, we got 1 minute to go. So we consider Snipe Land is in the last 20 seconds. And that's when we get excited for the snipes. But we'll see what happens here. The Voodoo Ranger sure is good. It sure is. We're down to 40 seconds. Almost a Snipe Land, folks. I am looking forward to the Batocera build, though, with that. And I'm drilling the holes to put in the cords for the guns. Probably tomorrow morning. I'm just having a little bit of trouble with some of the T-molding and some of the bending spots where it wants to pop up. Hey, Gorf just popped up a little bit. But here we are. Now we are in Snipe Land 20 seconds to go. We're at 1850 and 505. 1850 and 505. We're going to get any more action here. 1850 and 505. 8 seconds to go. Uh-oh, we're not seeing movement. 5 seconds. Oh, there we go. 1519 and 2283. We got some snipes, folks. That's awesome.
Wow!
All right. Thanks to the bidders. Good jump there at the end on both of them, in my opinion. Worthy price. From 350 to 1950. That ain't so bad. All right. Next up. Oh, this already went up $1 since we started. Another NES lot sitting at $12.50. And this is the Atari 5200 lot. Now, if this jumps last second, the Atari 5200 lot, I have a feeling that we might see some good jumps on the big console too. But we'll see. We'll see. How could we possibly know, right? Now, these games, these Atari 5200, I bought these at a pawn shop in Wilmer in 1995 or early 96. I can't remember. But, yeah, I've been sitting on them this long. And I didn't have my Atari 5200 I got didn't work. And I think I ended up throwing it away, which I wish I wouldn't have because I know how to fix things better now than I did back then. But I hung on to the games, obviously. And then I was able to test them out with this other 5200 I picked up. Thank you, Joe. And, yeah, able to test them, easier to sell if you know that they work, right? It is interesting, though. With a lot of cartridge stuff, it's really hard to kill a cartridge game. It is. Unless it's this game and it's stupid rare. It's worth like a couple $100. And I cannot for the life of me get it to work. So I'm still working on that one. But yeah, let's hope it works. Otherwise, I might just sell it as broken. Might still get $50 for it. Who knows? It's weird how the world works, folks. It's weird how the world works. But yeah, so the other arcade I'm working on is the Defender. And see, I ordered the marquee and the control panel overlay, and I got new wood for the control panel. I'm putting in an original style Defender stick that just moves up and down. Have that. I have the buttons. I'm really close to being ready to get that up and running. I did decide, though, I'm pulling the tube and I'm running LCD. It's just such a pain in the ass getting the tubes right. I like authentic, but I like a better looking screen overall too, to be honest. But, you know, kind of is what it is, right? All right, we're getting close to Snipe Land here. Haven't seen any movement yet, but we'll see. We're at 24 seconds, 23, 22, 21. Snipe Land. All right, we're at 1250 and 1650. 1250 and 1650. What are we going to do here? 1250 and 1650. Going to get any more movement out of these bad boys? 1250 and 1650 with 6 seconds to go. 1250 and 1650. 1250, 1650. Oh, we got skunked on the snipe. That poor kid. Oh, you guys. That poor kid just died. It's so sad. So sad. All right, let's move on, though. We have to move on. This was sitting at 850 when we started. Still at 850 for that Nintendo lot. Nobody wants Nintendo today. Ooh, and then we got the super rare Atari trackball sitting at $63. So that's exciting. I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Maybe we'll get rich. Probably not. Anyway, the Defender cabinet that I'll be working on, I was able to actually play a real, true Defender cab with the game in it in a tube last weekend. A guy I went to high school with opened up a bar in Mankato here. It's one of those barcades. It's called like the Social something or another. Jeez, Nate, you're so rude about that kid in the wheelchair. It's kind of a sad story, really. But it's that new barcade. It's called the Social. I don't know. Stacy, you can correct me on it if you're listening. But regardless, they have several pinball machines and a lot of the classic arcades. Some of the classic arcade games they had original were Donkey Kong, Defender, let's see here, Galaga, Miss Pac-Man. Trying to think what else was on there. They had quite a few of the old classic arcades. But regardless, the pinball was really good too. Though they're missing one major pinball. There's no Attack from Mars. But I was getting kind of hooked on Stranger Things. The play mechanics of it are a lot like Attack from Mars. Be honest, a lot of the pinball games play mechanics are Attack from Mars, but I've always liked the sound bites for Attack from Mars. Like, oh, women. It's always a good time. But no, it was a good. I actually went there alone on Friday at 3:00 just to go play some pinball, and I grabbed a big beer, and then I grabbed a second beer, and then yeah, Social House it's called. There you go. Thanks, Days. All right, we're down to Snipe. Stop that story. $8.50 and $63. We haven't any movement. $8.50 and $63. We're down to 12 seconds, 10 seconds, $8.50 and $63 still. Uh-oh, no movement. 5 seconds, $8.50 and $63. Hey, $10.50, we got a $2 snipe. Whoa, not our biggest of days, that's for sure. Well, there you go, folks. That was a snipe technically at $2. All right, let's hope we get a little more magic here, right? Well, the Magician went up $1 since we started. It's at $16.52. And let's see how 1942 is doing. It went up as well to 85. Well, I think we saw it go to 85 when we're looking around, I thought. Anyway, it's at $85 and we got 16.52. So we'll see what happens here. There's something magical about a good IPA, though. But when I was at the Social House arcade bar, I got the Foggy Geezer, and they sell these giant mugs. If you're familiar with Mankato, they're the same size as Rounders mugs, right? And they're big. I think they're 24 ounces. And same guy owns them both, technically. And I got the Foggy Geezer, and it wouldn't fit in the cup holder because I got the giant mug. So when I'm playing pinball, I'm putting it down on the floor, kind of between my legs. And I'd take a swig of it every time the ball went down the drain. And well, I wasn't doing well enough, apparently, and I finished the first one quite quickly. And so I decided to get a second one, and I sat down at the bar and I talked to the owner for a while, Eric. And like, hey, if you ever need any help with anything, I can probably help you out with something. You might look into it, whatever. But they're building a giant new patio, and he took me out back and showed me where the patio's going, all this stuff. And I finished the second Foggy Geezer to find out that my neighbors are across the street having a pre-concert, a kids' concert, dinner at Ummy's. So I thought I'd go crash them and have a beer with them. So I had just one Coors Light, and I'm feeling really good. That Foggy Geezer is kind of like, it reminds me of the Mad Butcher in a way, where it kind of sneaks up on you and gets you. But regardless, I had a water then over at Paulie Eyes next door because another set of my friends showed up over there, and ended up going home and didn't drink anywhere the rest of the night, but I was pretty lit up. I'm not going to lie. 3 beer princess right here. Hopefully this doesn't do me in. I got to go to the post office and get all your shipping labels on these things, right? But yeah, we'll see. All right, we are getting close to that snipe. Right now we're at snipe. $16.52 and $85. $16.52 and $85. What's going to happen next? Oh, we're up to $17.50. Little snipe there, about $1. 7 seconds to go. $17.50. Oh, $105. $21.50 and $105. There we go. There we go. All right. Those are some decent snipes. I think we haven't got to do my favorite snipe video yet, so let's just do it. Well, there you go. That was a good snipe. Not going to complain. Not going to complain at all. But now for the finale. This was at 86 when we started. We're at 125. Whoa, that's actually more than I was expecting. That's great news, folks. That's great news. Cheers. Still have 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go on our last auction. And it is a beaut, though. It's the 4 control port one, which I don't know if that's any more rare or less rare than the other. It's a CX5200. And it's got a good bunch of games. The Q*bert is so easy to play in this because of the analog, and it can do true corner pulls. I'm trying to say that. Where it's impossible to play with any other controller, except for one with the gate that just goes to the corners. So I enjoyed shooting this video and doing the Q*bert stuff. But yeah, you know, what are you going to do? It's all some good stuff. Heading up to the lake cabin this weekend, helping out the rents, making sure that we get those docks and the boats and the lifts and all that good stuff. So probably break a bone or two. Hurt my foot last year. I think when we were taking it out. Got pretty cut up, actually. My armrests aren't level. Still aren't level. Got a real conundrum here, folks. But anyway, it's always a good time, right? Always have to have a good time. I am excited for next week's show, though. We got a little bit more. 127.50. We picked up a couple more bucks there. We'll see how this ends. This is interesting because we're not truly in snipe land, but we might be dealing with people who don't necessarily snipe. Look at this. We've had 50 bids on this auction. That's actually quite a few. Oh, my app is catching up with real time. All right, 20 seconds. We're in snipe. We're at 27.50. And now we have 15 seconds left. 27.50. What's going to happen here? Man, I hope I get to play the air horn or something. 27.50. Are we going to get any more movement? Any 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh! Snipe fail for the end. That poor kid. You know, what are you going to do? All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great, safe holiday weekend. We will be live again next Wednesday at 12:45. Make sure to check it out. Until then, have a great day.